everybody. I'm Dr. Purnima, gynecologist, having experience for 30 years, practicing at Banshakti Second Stage, Bangalore. I'll be talking about endometriosis today, and all of you will be wondering what this endometriosis is, because the patient coming to us, when I tell, oh, you're having endometriosis, or when they see the scan report, it has written as endometriosis, they'll be asking, what is this endometriosis, doctor? So I want to share my experience with you and tell about endometriosis to you. Endometrium is the lining of the internal lining of the uterus. It is called endometrium in English, and endometriosis is the endometrium which is situated outside this normal place, maybe in the ovaries or in the tube, fallopian tube, or over the ligaments which is attached to the uterus to the pelvic bone. So wherever if we find this endometrial tissue, there will be some amount of inflammation, and that will be causing so many problems in all the women. And you'll be asking, how common is this endometriosis? So 1 among 10 women will be suffering with this. That means out of 100, 10% will have endometriosis. So why this is so much bothering to everybody? It is over the ovaries, it is over the fallopian tube, it may be over the uterus, inside, outside, inside the uterine, the uterus will be inside. On the surface of the uterus also there will be endometrium instead of inside. Sometimes we see on the bladder or over the intestine also. So you may get throughout the body, even sometimes it may be in the lungs, it may be in the liver. So it occurs throughout the body, we will tell, but most of the time it is restricted to pelvis. And you may ask, who gets this endometriosis? All the women? No, only 10%. So whom it is more common then? In nulliparous, those who doesn't have any children at all, then whose periods are heavy, or whose periods are for a long time, that is more than 7 days, or whose periods are early, like everybody will get around 28 days. If they get less than that, around 21 days, 22 days, like that, then it may be common in them. Or in with the family history, mother is having, sister is having, aunt is having, so you may also have this endometriosis problem. And you will be asking what it will be connected with infertility, because nowadays infertility is very common. Everybody will know there are so many infertility centers throughout India or throughout the world. So what is the connection between infertility and endometriosis? So in infertility, if we take 100 patients, 40 people will be having endometriosis. And we will be thinking whether endometriosis is causing this infertility or something else which is causing this infertility. How this endometrium will be affected in infertility, I will tell later. And now we will be talking about the symptoms, how they present. You may have dysmenorrhea, that is painful menstruation. During your periods, you will be always telling you are having pain. Then dyspareunia, when you have intercourse with your husband, there will be deep-seated pain. And dysuria sometimes, there will be pain during passing urine, or sometimes during motion, when you are passing motion also you may get the pain. Or it may be connected to intestine problems like constipation, bloating of the abdomen, nausea, then pelvic pain, always you will be telling backache. And these are all may be connected to endometriosis. And most of the time, the age group will be around 30 to 40 years. Sometimes it will be seen in 20 to 30 years also, but more commonly during the reproductive age group, we will have this problem as well. Maybe they come with infertility more to us, or they may be coming with other problems, so we will identify the problem. And what are the causes of this endometriosis then? How it will be, for only few, why it will come again? So there is no proper explanation or proper cause why this endometriosis occurs. So there are so many theories put forward. One of the theory, and always we have learnt in our college days, MBBS days, and even otherwise, always tell it is retrograde flow of menstrual blood. Every month we have that menstruation, the endometrium will shed and comes out of the vagina. But sometimes that may go back into the pelvis through the tube, fallopian tube. It may be deposited inside the pelvis. So the endometrial tissue will go and get deposited in the areas wherever it has been thrown. That's why sometimes even that endometriosis can be seen on the vulva, on the vagina, and over the cervix. So we can find wherever the menstrual fluid will be there, we can find that. So whenever there is periods, that endometrium, all the 30 days it will grow and it will be shedding blood. So even when it is in the ovaries, there also there will be blood accumulating, and when we open that red blood would have become brownish in color, and that is how we call it as chocolate cyst there. Then we have genetic theory. Maybe some genes are representing, so it runs in the family. Mother will be having, so the sisters will be having, aunts will be having. So if there is familial history in the family, you may also have. Then we have immune theory. Maybe like the immunity for COVID-19 this one virus or some other bacteria, if you are immune, that your body can produce, the immune system is so good, it will ensure that that particular foreign body or that will be nullified. But when you don't have the immunity to that particular problem, that problem will be more. So that theory also will be put forward. Then there is hormonal theory. We have found out that with more estrogen in our body, like if the estrogen is produced in our body or it is given from outside, whenever there is more estrogen hormone, then also the endometriosis is more in these people. And sometimes with surgery, after doing cesarean section, we have found that on the scar there will be during the periods there is a nodule, it will become very painful, and once the periods are over, that will reduce. That is, after surgery, endometrial tissue may be implanted over the scar, and it is called scar endometriosis. So, and when you will be asking, does it goes away after menopause? Because we will be thinking only it is present in 30-40 years and after it might not be there. Sometimes in menopause it will go off, because in menopause estrogen and progesterone, both hormones will not be there. So there is no problem with endometriosis much. Then many people, when they come to infertility, when they don't conceive, they'll come to us with endometriosis problem and ask, can I become pregnant? And the answer is yes, definitely. We can give treatment for endometriosis and you can definitely become pregnant, but very rare cases may go for IVF, so that the tubes are so damaged that the ovum pickup will not take place, and the IVF will be the only answer for them. And what will be the treatment if you ask for endometriosis? I'll tell. Either it will be medical line of treatment, or with some drugs we can reduce it. And if the problem is too much, because some patient may come with mass per abdomen, there will be bloating of the abdomen, they think because of gastritis or something else. But when we do scanning, we can find out a mass there, big chocolate cyst. At that time we have to do surgery and take out the ovaries, and during the surgery only we can make out how severe the condition is. Sometimes we have to take out the ovaries and sometimes we have to take out the tubes. Then the conception will be very, very difficult, and we can leave only the uterus. Then you go for IVF. Then the question will come, what is the method? What are the methods we can prevent it? By food or something, can we prevent it? Prevention can be done to a certain extent by taking precautions, like when you take birth control pills, please ask your obstetricians that there will be less estrogen present in the tablet, because the oral contraceptive pills have both estrogen and progesterone part. In that we know that estrogen is the one which is going to cause this endometriosis. So you can ask your obstetricians to give the tablet which contains less estrogen. Then one more is, whenever your body weight is too much, that is your BMI is more, then the fat present in your body will produce more estrogen. So that is also may be a cause for endometriosis. So we always tell all of you to do exercise, do dieting whenever needed, and maintain your body, maintain your BMI. It will be helpful in all the ways, not only for endometriosis, even for otherwise. Then you can avoid alcohol. Nowadays, female taking alcohol, we used to tell 5%, now it has more. So reduce your alcohol intake. And caffeine. Caffeine is another one. If you drink more of coffee, that also may be a cause for endometriosis. So you have to reduce this, then your endometriotic problem will be reduced. Then another question is, in infertility, how endometriosis is problem. We can tell that in infertility, the tubes are damaged, one, and the ovum pickup and the sperms traveling through the uterus and the tubes also will be affected because of the endometriotic scars are present. So whenever there is endometriosis present there will be scarring and the tissue will be damaged. There is no normal tissue present there. So the ovum cannot travel and the sperm cannot travel, and even after this one, after they are having fusion, the zygote cannot implant sometimes into the uterine cavity, because the endometriosis, otherwise called adenomyosis, also may be a problem in the uterine cavity. So it is going to be problem in infertility always. So take care and consult your doctors whenever in need, and get the best treatment for your pain and other things, for your infertility pain, so and lead a pleasant life. Thank you so much.